What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Lockdown Coverage. If you guys are new to the channel, my name's Daniel. On today's episode, I'm covering your Miami Dolphins. This is Sunday night. I am recording this video Sunday night. So this is post-game kind of what happened against the Bills. And I'm just going to jump right into things. Some takeaways that I actually did get to is that the Dolphins did not go by my game plan. If you guys check out my pregame or my preview video going into this game, I actually did predict the score to be 31-20, which it almost was until we got that kind of garbage time touchdown with Mike Gesicki. Mike Gesicki, first of all, had a day. Let me tell you guys, our offense started off slow. Why did it start off slow? The Bills defense contained our wide receivers, which is what I mentioned in the preview as well. I don't know how reliant we could be with this wide receiver core. Obviously, Devontae Parker had 50 yards and a touchdown. Mike Gesicki had 8 catches for 130 yards and a touchdown. He looks like he could be a breakout candidate this year. Josh Allen was unstoppable, honestly. He had 400 yards passing the ball. Last week in week 1 was his first week that he's ever had over 300 yards. And this week against us, he had 400 yards and 4 touchdowns. And Stephon Diggs looked unstoppable, and that wide receiver core looked unstoppable. That offense looked really good for Buffalo. Their defense didn't look as good as it looked in week 1 against the Jets, but they still forced us into some key stops. So round of applause for the Buffalo Bills. I like that defense as a whole, and this Bills team looks legit, even though they started off slow, and the Dolphins kind of got momentum coming out of halftime, coming out of that lightning delay. That lightning delay kind of did us a favor because we did gain momentum from that. Our team kind of looked revamped. Myles Gaskins is our starting running back, which I would not have said a week ago. Crazy to think that the 4th-string running back that might have not made the roster coming into training camp is actually playing the most snaps for us. He had 50 yards rushing. He had about 40 yards receiving, so put up 90 yards as a whole. That's pretty good. Jordan Howard, some takeaways for Jordan Howard is that he's currently averaging less than 1 yard per carry. Today, I think he had 5 carries for 4 yards and a touchdown, even though we're using him in 3rd and 1s and goal line situations where he did have a touchdown this week and a touchdown last week against New England. He still is not rushing the ball good at all. Looks like a bust free agent signing in my opinion. Matt Breida is a good change of pace guy, but again, he's not getting any volume that we anticipate him to get in the season. So a 5th round pick for him might have looked like a steal, but if we're using him at this capacity, then it's kind of what he deserved to be traded for in my opinion. Ryan Fitzpatrick looked way better than he did against New England, had 0 turnovers, threw 328 yards and 2 touchdowns. If he continues to do that, and it's just we're losing because of our defense, then I think Ryan Fitzpatrick will stay in more games because you can't force Tua's hand if Ryan Fitzpatrick is doing all that he could. And if Tua can't perform to a crazy Pro Bowl level, then obviously you're going to keep Ryan Fitzpatrick in, especially with Tua still learning the offense. I know a lot of people are impatient and we're 0-2 and people are already going to start asking questions and haggling the Dolphins coaching staff and front office to get Tua in there, but I personally still do think, and I stand by this, I have stood by this point for over the past 6 or 7 weeks, that Tua needs to stay on the bench for as long as possible so he could learn this offense and learn this scheme. Again, one other takeaway that I would have to mention is that Preston Williams does not look like the receiver that he looked like last year before injury. He's still coming off an ACL tear, still only 10 months removed, so don't anticipate him to look so good. He had 1 reception, and that 1 reception he did have this week against the Bills was a nice catch, was a great throw by Ryan Fitzpatrick, but on a lot of targets, 5 or 6 targets this week, 5 or 6 targets last week, only has about 3 receptions to show for it. Preston Williams looks like he might get demoted until he could prove that he was that wide receiver that he was last year for the Dolphins. Who would start in his place? I don't know. Probably Isaiah Ford. Isaiah Ford stepped up in the slot. He had 7 catches for 76 yards. I know some of it was in garbage time, but Devontae Parker looked good, was healthy, did go against Tre'Davious White, probably is one of the best corners in the league, if not the best cornerback in the league. So Devontae Parker put up some good numbers. Ryan Fitzpatrick looked good. Our defense could not get any pressure on the quarterback. That is probably one of the main reasons why Buffalo had such ease moving the ball down the field, probably throughout the whole game, except maybe the 3rd quarter. The Dolphins literally had 1 game-changing play, in my opinion, is when we got the ball 1st and goal, and the score was 20-17 Buffalo. We had an opportunity. We had 4 plays where we went for it on 4th down, and we threw the ball twice. Ryan Fitzpatrick ran for it once. We tried 1 rushing attempt on 1st and goal. That does not cut it. That doesn't work. That was a game-changing drive. 4 plays at the 1, and we couldn't score the ball to go ahead and go up 24-20. It would have given us momentum. It would have given us more momentum. We got in the red zone the very next possession. So imagine if we were up 24-20 and we were in the red zone for a second straight possession. We would have been able to kick a field goal. We wouldn't have been worried to actually be down in the game. We could have tied it up if Buffalo still scored a touchdown. So that drive, that play, especially with Preston Williams probably dropping the ball at the 1-yard line, if he would have caught it, it was in a perfect position for Preston Williams to only catch it, or it would have been a drop, and it was a drop. And Preston Williams did not perform well, in my opinion. That could have cost us the game. That probably did cost us the game, because then Josh Allen was just unstoppable, and we lost Byron Jones early in this game. So because we lost him early, it kind of forced Noah Benogany, our first-year player and our first-round pick, to go up against Stephon Diggs, Pro Bowl wide receiver. And of course, he had 8 catches for 153 yards. Cole Beasley had a good game. Xavier Howard had a drop interception that Josh Allen misread, and John Brown was cutting across the field, and instead he threw it over his head. Xavier Howard saw the ball, was looking at the ball the whole time, did not get to it. It would have been a pick. It would have been our ball in a tie situation with about 6 minutes left in the fourth quarter. We made a lot of mistakes, and the fact that we made a lot of mistakes and we were still very much in this game, even though Josh Allen had a spectacular performance, is really a plus. And I know I've been negative probably this whole video, but that's a big plus for this Dolphins team. A lot of mistakes, couldn't get to the quarterback, couldn't do this, couldn't do that, and we still were in this game until the end. All we needed was an onside kick and a field goal. We would have tied it up at the end with about a minute left. So props to your Dolphins. I think they will improve week in and week out. We do have a quick turnaround, and we do play on Thursday night against the Jacksonville Jaguars. Easily a winnable game. I think the Dolphins should compete in this game. We should be favored in my opinion, even though Gardner Minshew put up a fight in week 2 against Tennessee. They almost did come out with the win. He threw 2 interceptions. They don't have a good defense. Their offense is probably middle of the pack. I expect an improvement for the Dolphins, and I expect a win here in week 3. Bounce back, fix what you did mess up in, have Byron Jones probably healthy, hopefully healthy, because we need that secondary. That is where we put most of our money in. If we are allowing wide receivers to run all over us, then what are you doing? That means we have a serious problem, because most of our investments were in the secondary, and Byron Jones, Xavier Howard, Noah Benogany, first-round pick. Nick Needham also struggled. Bobby McCain gave up a touchdown to John Brown that probably cost us the game to make it 31-20. So again, get better pass rush, get players healthy, quick turnaround this Thursday. But other than that, the Dolphins did lose this game 31-28. Good game by the Dolphins, but we need to improve. I want to see improvement week in and week out. And Brian Flores is a good enough coach where I can say we could do that just like we did last year. Just improvement quicker. Last year, we didn't get started until about week 9. I think we could get our first win of the season in week 3. So that's honestly a big improvement if you ask me. We spent a lot of money. We need wins to show for it, or else this coaching staff will not be patient anymore. And Stephen Ross, the owner of the Dolphins, might not let him be around for as long as we think. So if you guys like this video, please make sure to leave a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel, guys. More Dolphins videos coming weekly. I'm doing a preview for Thursday night early, so probably either Tuesday or Wednesday, depending on what I decide. So just want to say thanks for watching, guys. Appreciate all of you.